Smith. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, well.
All right. Tonight, let me start by showing you this classroom. You see the announcement for the week 3. So, uh, how many of you have registered in my lab and mastering? Hello, guys, can you answer me?
The code is not working.
It's not working for me either.
So it's still not working. You know,
It's not working.
after next week, we just have to forget about the code, and I will just create the assignment myself. You know, I have something like this issue last semester. So I thought that by now they should have fixed it. So in any case, keep trying. If it doesn't work by next week, let me know. I will just tell you to forget about the code, and I will create the assignment myself. Okay? So now,
Yeah.
okay, good. So tonight, homework 1. Now, since you didn't have access to it yet, to the um online material, don't worry about homework now. 1 for now. I'm gonna extend it again. So after next week, I'll create the homework myself if you haven't gained access by then. Okay? And but classwork 2. Oh, I this is assignment for an announcement for week 3, but this should be classwork 3. Give me 1 minute. Let me pull this out. Because we have classwork 3 should be what you have for this week. So, and homework 1, which I'll extend. So let me update this announcement. So it's gonna be classwork 3 that will be due tomorrow. You still know, remember last week I put you guys in a group. So you know your group, you're gonna work with your group on this classwork. The one you did last week, I will grade it to this week. I've graded the first classwork. So so you can see what I expect. This one will be due tomorrow, which should be February 6th. Yeah, 6. So I'll now update it. So I would recommend that since you don't have access to the textbook yet, just stick with the PowerPoint presentation that we have for the class. Now, if you have a question here, ask me direct. I'm here. I don't go to chat room while in class. So ask me if you have any question. I'm here now. So the presentation I have for this week, you can see it here, right here. We're going to use it for this week and next week as well. And this is the classwork that you and your group will submit by tomorrow. It's right here. Okay. Our topic this week is project management. Any question before we begin? Hello, guys. Any question before we begin? Okay, good. But you can see you can see the presentation clearly, right?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. Excellent. So let's begin then. Project management. I know that you have been hearing of projects. I mean, we use project in different scenarios. In this presentation, like I said, we're going to use it for this week and next week. But my presentation, I prepared them to like notes. So reading my presentation alone can help you, actually help you in this class, pass this class. It's like I'm putting the chapters in the textbook into short notes that will be easy to read and user-friendly. So for now, keep on with my presentation. You should be fine. Okay. So now we'll be looking at project management. What is project? As we, like I say, they use it in different scenarios. That term, project. And most times it actually means the same thing, except that in different contexts. So a project simply means any temporary task or series of tasks that we do with the goal of creating with respect to project management, operations management, a project is any temporary task. See the word temporary because project has duration. Any temporary task or series of tasks that we do or perform with the goal of creating a unique product or a unique service, providing a unique service or result. So it's not like the regular work where you go every day, Monday to Friday, and then continue until you retire. Project has a duration. That's why you have the word, see that word, temporary. It has a specific start date and end date. So we create them to meet specific goals. So that's the project. There are many examples, but I will focus only on the one that are related to operations management. Look at this project. They call it the Burj Khalifa skyscraper in Dubai. It's a project that was building project that was the project started in 2004 and they completed it in 2010, and it involved complex tasks, things like planning, designing, and building the tallest building. And you can see right here, as a matter of fact, this is the project, the one I'm talking about, the Burj Khalifa project. Okay, of Dubai. See the tallest skyscraper. So you can see, I'm seeing the new people here. They're not. Their name is not even on my list. Maybe after.
Well, next time you gotta tell people ahead of time you cancel making it online.
What's that?
Next time you gotta tell people ahead of time before you make the class online.
That means you haven't been checking your Canvas announcements. Have you been checking it? Because it's there.
It just don't pop. It just don't pop up. It just don't pop up. It pop up.
Then you have to make it pop up now because you need to download the Canvas app, or at the first day of class, I told you guys to register in Remind so that when I send a message, it will come to you as a text. Did you do that?
My fault. I wasn't there first day or night, so my fault.
But
I see it.
yeah, so all the announcements are there in two places, in Canvas and in Remind. Okay. So now let us continue. Another example of project, you can see the during the pandemic, the development of the COVID-19 vaccine is a project too. That was in 2021. By different pharmaceutical companies. They developed like Pfizer developed their own, and so on and so forth. It's a project. You have a starting time and ending time. There are construction projects like road building that have a starting time, the duration as well. All these are projects. So it can come in different forms. Now, when we say project management, what we are referring to is the process of leading a team to accomplish a project goal with set constraints like time, budget, and resources. Now, what this means is that the project management involves organizing, monitoring, planning, and completing the project. Now, somebody who does all this is called a project manager. A good example, I have Elon Musk here with his SpaceX team. And they manage the project of sending the first private spacecraft, which they call Crew Dragon, to the International Space Station in 2020. And how about this? Apple's projects, when Apple developed the iPhone, or when they launched a new iPhone, for example, the one they launched in 2017, the one that is called iPhone X. It is a project and that in management, the Apple managed it. The project leader in Apple managed it properly. Worked with some team on launch. They worked towards launching the new Apple iPhone X. So now we have even now we have a new project that is going on at the federal level. They call it the Department of Government Efficiency, that's trying to cut costs in all federal government departments. So those things have a duration, beginning and end, probably in the next 4 years, probably end. Now, the importance of project management is clear. It helps to keep organization or company well organized, or to keep work well organized. Help us to control the budget, help us to manage time and ensure quality. For example, here you can see that the construction of Panama Canal which was completed in 1914, it took years, but then workers from different countries worked together under a project manager. Well, there's a project manager, then there's a team of project managers. They have to coordinate effort across multiple time zones and cultures. So now this brings us to another example, which is the project management that's good management of project was one of the most important factor that contributed to the I would say call it the eradication of the Ebola outbreak in some part of West Africa. So the project managers, they are coordinated, they coordinated doctors, nurses, and resources to help control the virus. Okay. Now, which leads us to the strategic value of time-based competition. Now, when we say time-based competition, we mean the beating competitors by delivering products faster without sacrificing quality. So, companies that have done this, we have Amazon, that have mastered time-based competition with their Amazon Prime. I'm sure that all of you know about Amazon Prime. that normally give you, sometimes they give you 1 day delivery after you place the order, sometimes 2 day delivery. Toyota has also done that with their just-in-time-based, just-in-time inventory management system, production system, whereby they ensure that parts are delivered only when needed. And following that strategy help the company to reduce cost and speed of production. Okay. So all this thing comes under the importance of project management. Because the first one is that international workforce control, the professionals that are involved rely on a good management of projects or good project management strategies to make sure that things work the right way. Okay. Now look at this. Quality mandate for continual improvement. Now, with a good, with best practices in project management, companies can focus on quality improvement. And when companies improve their quality, if they make it a constant thing, it ensures that they have long-term success. We have case studies that have proven that. We have General Electric with their Six Sigma method, and we have McDonald's, which has focused only very much on quality, food quality. In some places where they need to make changes to adjustment, they do. Like now, when they open, I think when they open in a place like India, where many people don't eat meat, actually, they adjust their menu for fish and etc. Then they also in America here they have switched to fresh beef in 2018. They started using fresh beef in their quarter pounders, and it's a part of quality improvement strategy that help them to win back customers from their competition. At this point, we are ready to take a look at what is called project characteristics. Now, there are several characteristics that the projects have in common, no matter the kind of project they are. The first one is a single unit. So usually a project is always focused on producing or creating one unique product or outcome. For example, the building of the Sydney Opera House in Australia. That is the focus for that project. I'll give you another example. If you remember, the Key Bridge was knocked down by a ship last year, and now they are coming to, they are trying to do a lot of planning in fact, they want to build it back. And for all this, since the time it was knocked down till now, they are still planning at the planning stage, where, especially as it relates to the funding for the project. But unlike that, all the money they are getting for it, all the necessary things that they've been doing since then, is focused on doing one thing, which is to rebuild the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Okay? So another feature of project is that sometimes they involve, even though it's focused on one thing, they also involve other activities that are related to that one thing that they want to do. For example, the World Expo in Shanghai involved hundreds of activities, from construction to organizing the event. And all these are tied together by the main goal of hosting the World Expo in Shanghai. Now, another good example is I've given you with the Key Bridge. Let me say a video game, building a new video game. They required several activities like coding, testing, design, and marketing. All these, they are separate activities, but they are focused on developing and marketing that new video game. Okay? And then the third feature of project has to do with difficult production planning and inventory control. Now, managing this, both the production and inventory, it can be challenging for project managers. Why? Well, I would say because of the needs of the projects. The needs of project often change. So, example, NASA's Mars rover mission. When NASA was building the Mars rover, they have a mission for that. But then they found out that they have to, do more planning and management of the parts, as they needed to launch by a specific date so that to align with the Mars orbit. So they have to do a lot of planning and make some changes too. How about the construction of the Eurotunnel? That is, is a tunnel in Europe. So that was done in 1994 between UK and France. And that construction required managing millions of tons of material and supply with no room for error, because this is a tunnel. So any mistake can cost lives, or can make the cost budget to become too high. That may not be affordable. Okay. So I think you get the point on that one. Now, another feature of project is the general purpose equipment, and you have to do with that. So now, the equipment we do use for building a ski bridge, so then can be used in building skyscrapers as well. So, or even in constructing tunnel or big hospital, and so on and so forth. So the projects often use equipment that can be adapted to different tasks. Then the last but not the least of the features of the project that they require workers that have specialized skills so that they can meet a complex challenges. Now, for example, if you remember the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, it caught fire. Let me show you. Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, it caught fire in 2019. Although it had been fixed, but that cathedral had been there for a long time. Let me see if I can pull it here for you. Do I have it? Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna open this page. Okay, that's it right here. Okay, let me see if you can see this. It's a big project to fix it. That's the cathedral right there. Been there for a long time, and then it caught fire. See? The fact that's often referred to simply as Notre Dame is a medieval Catholic cathedral on the in France. So now in 2019 it caught fire, but now it has been repaired. But they just finished repairing it this year. You can see how long it took to fix it. And there's a lot of planning and how to source the funding, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, how about in the technology sector? In the US technology tech sector, we have the project of designing and producing Tesla Model S. That project requires engineers with advanced skills in electric vehicles and software. And the same thing with the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. It requires artisans and stone workers that have skilled enough, that have seasoned enough to be able to rebuild the historic site. That cathedral, I think it has been there for more than 1,000 years. So, yeah. Now, I have some of the activities that we do in project management. I have 3 main activities: planning, scheduling, and controlling. So these steps help to guide a project from the start to finish. And project managers follow that step to make sure that they meet the project's goal on time and within budget. So let's start with from planning. So we normally say that if you don't have a plan, it means that you have a plan to fail. See? So if you don't have a plan, it means that you have a different plan, which is to fail. What I'm trying to say here is that planning is the first thing when it comes to project management. Planning, of course, the generation of the idea of what kind of project to do is important, of course. But with planning is the first step because it involves deciding what needs to be done, how it will be done, and when it will be done. So with planning, we set goals, and then we define the scope of the project, and then, of course, organize the resources that we need to make sure that the project is completed successfully. And I give an example with the COVID-19 vaccine. It's a project that was initiated during the pandemic. Three major pharmaceutical companies worked on it, do the clinical trials, and eventually they find out a vaccine. Although the vaccine is a strange vaccine because some people got the vaccine and they didn't got the COVID-19, but some people got the vaccine and yet they got the COVID-19, even though they say that it wasn't very severe. Now, some people got the COVID-19 vaccine and even got the booster, and yet they got COVID-19. So that vaccine is a very strange vaccine. But it's a project that has a starting point and an ending point that the pharmaceutical companies involved invested millions of dollars to develop it. Next thing is scheduling. After planning, we come to scheduling. And scheduling involves creating a timeline for the project task and activities. So under scheduling, what we do is to identify the start and end time for each task. Because in a project, there will be a combination of different tasks that we need to accomplish. So scheduling means you identify the start and end time of those tasks. Good example is I used Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada. They began the construction in 2014, and they had a detailed schedule to ensure that each phase of the factory is built on time. Let me see. Did Tesla complete the factory, the Gigafactory in Nevada? I will leave that for you to explore. To find out, do your research online and see if they completed the factory. Now, next is controlling. Yes, you need to monitor the progress of the project and make adjustments. There's no project that you start and don't make adjustments. Always, there's going to be some adjustments.
Hey, Professor.
Yes, sir.
You mind going back to that slide so I can screenshot it real quick?
I have it here already for you. So look. I have it here for you in the online, so you can download it.
Oh, okay.
Right here. It's right here. So, and like I said, read it.
Okay, what page was that though? Because you said, I just want.
Oh, the page.
Mm-hmm.
So since you guys don't have the that's this talking about this one, right?
Yes.
You guys don't have access to the textbook yet, so I would recommend reading the PowerPoint because I make it, as you can see, I don't make it like the regular PowerPoint where you just list stuff like a grocery list. I made them like a book, so I can read them. Actually, matter of fact.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So look at this controlling. So you have to monitor progress of the project and also make adjustments. Like I said a few minutes ago, there's always, I have not seen a project that we have planned the project and begin the project and we didn't make some adjustment after some time. There are always going to be some adjustments. If you look at the Hoover Dam, it was built in the 1930s. The project managers constantly monitor the work. They make adjustments to make sure that the project was finished 2 years ahead of schedule. See? Now, another concept we will be looking at is the project planning. We have already mentioned it already before. Let us elaborate a little bit on that planning sex part of it. So, planning, like I said, if you don't have a plan, that means you actually have a plan to fail. So planning is important. Now we have that good project planning help to make sure that the project meets its goals, that the project stays within budget, and also that the project is finished on time. So some of the some elements that are involved in planning. One is establishing objective. So what is the project of the objective of the project? For example, for the Hoover Dam, to build a dam, of course, for the Baltimore Key Bridge, to rebuild the Key Bridge, and so on and so forth. There are going to be objectives. Next is to define the project, whereby we identify the scope, goals, and deliverables. So certain things have to be done by certain dates. So in the defining the project, we try to present a detailed description of what needs to be done and when they need to be completed. Then we have the next one is creating a work breakdown structure, whereby the project manager working with his team or her team break down the project into smaller manageable tasks. So doing this help the project manager to and even the project to be easier to understand and track. So next will be determining the resources we have. Do we have enough resources to finish this project? If no, what are the strategies for getting those resources? If yes, to what extent will these resources last when it comes to this project? Then, of course, we're forming a project organization. What I mean by that is all the project teams will be assembled and assign specific roles and responsibilities. So this includes selecting the team leader and managers who will oversee different parts of the project. So so these are the key elements. I have more example. I don't know if you have heard of the Big Dig. The Big Dig. It was a very big project. In fact, I was call it the largest infrastructure project in US. And it was done in Boston. This is Boston. Okay. And the goal was to reduce the traffic congestion by rerouting the main highway underground. But instead of, let me just play a clip that would show you what was done in the Boston's Big Dig project. Let me see if I don't have a space where I can put this. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can open somewhere I can put it. Okay, good, I got it. Boston Big Dig project.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Can you hear the sound? You hear the sound? Okay, good, excellent. So let me share it then.
City strangled by highways, choked by traffic. Through its heart cuts a major artery, plagued by congestion and gridlock. But what if it were possible to replace this urban expressway with parks and send the cars underground? To build a system of superhighways, larger in scale than the Panama Canal or Hoover Dam, beneath the city, without massively disrupting it or shutting it down. Impossible? Or is it? In fact, this engineering feat is transforming America's oldest city, but not without confronting unprecedented challenges. hold up streets and skyscrapers while excavating vast tunnels miles beneath them. Smart to handle traffic's deadly fumes or fires. Can cities solve their traffic nightmares by rebuilding their highways underground?
Professor, we can't hear.
Sir, we lost the audio.
System ever built is about to open to the public.
You guys are hearing the sound clear, right? Huh?
Yeah, we good now. We good now.
Okay. So I would say, matter of fact, I would say let's just walk all the way to 2 more minutes watching. Then you can watch it at home. I have the link on the PowerPoint.
It's the largest urban construction project in modern history, and its engineering achievements promise to end the city's infamous traffic jams. 8 miles of superhighways, half of them underground, will carry traffic around or below the city. I don't see the Cambridge numbers. But as engineers gear up to troubleshoot the opening, there's one wild card that cannot be engineered. How tens of thousands of harried drivers will react to the maze of changes.
Too many shy drivers here in Boston.
Overseeing monitors in the war room, Glenn Berkowitz ponders the daunting logistics of moving traffic from the old interstates to the new tunnels. To get 200,000 cars underground, major exits, ramps, city intersections, and 11 lanes of interstate highway will have to be radically shifted.
One of the things we're worried about is accidents that could occur where the new lanes take you to different places than the old lanes, and people may not realize that until the last minute and swerve to try to get into the correct exit at the last second, and that could create some problems out on the road.
Never before have such complex subterranean highways been built beneath the city. And opening them to the public will involve one of the most radical shifts in urban traffic ever attempted. The new tunnels will replace Boston's old central artery, Interstate 93, a 40-foot-high eyesore of green-painted steel and concrete. Each day, 200,000 vehicles choke lanes originally designed to carry 75,000. By 2010, planners predicted an urban nightmare of 14-hour-a-day traffic jams, unless something drastic could be done. But how could engineers fix?
So, I mean, it's a very gigantic project. I would say, watch it later on. At least, I'm giving you a preview of it. And this is where it is located. It's located in this slide. Okay, right here in this section. The link, and watch it. Very interesting. So, but the main thing is that the Big Dig was a very, it's very expensive. One of the most, in fact, the most expensive highway project in the United States, the Big Dig. And of course, it was at the beginning, during the time when it was being done, they have to do some revision, adjustment, and so on. So it was plagued by cost overruns, delays, leaks, design flaws, accusations of poor execution, and use of substandard material in some cases, even criminal charges and arrests, and of course, the death of one motorist. But eventually, the project was completed in December 2007. See? So it was a very bold project. And I think Boston is actually, I'll say that they are really enjoying the project now. Now, Apple iPhone project is also another example. It involved a massive project plan, which included a clear objective things like defining the project features, breaking down the tasks across teams like hardware, software, design, and of course, assemblage, and also determining the resources that are needed. The human resources and other resources like the engineers, designers, supply chain specialists, and so on and so forth. They involve all of them. So, any question before we continue? Any question? Okay, good. So we can now look at the project organization. Now, it is a term that we use to describe a temporary structure that is designed specifically for managing projects. So the project organization brings together specialists from different parts of the country or the company to work on a single project, and that they are overseen by what we call which I already explained, meaning the project manager. Now, the project manager coordinates all the activities that they do, monitor the progress, and control the costs. So it's similar to what we call a matrix organization, where we get employees from different departments to work on the projects. We call it a project organization. Okay. I will give an example by looking at the Apollo, NASA Apollo moon landing project. That was an old project. So when the US was competing with the then Soviet Union, I think the Soviet Union landed a human being in the moon first. I think they call it Major Yuri Gagarin. And then the US that went started to hyperventilate. And the Soviet Union and Russia, they make so much noise. They make so much noise that the US thought that they are behind. Eventually, US found out that actually Soviets are actually behind after it was revealed later on. Anyway, going back to our work, that Apollo project, during that time, NASA created a project organization by gathering experts from various fields, different fields, aerospace engineers, scientists, and military personnel. And they have a clear goal, which is landing human being on the moon. And they have a deadline as well. Eventually, they landed Apollo 11 in 1969 in the moon. So you can see how a sample project organization looks like. You can see different professionals from different departments working on that project. So maybe the project one. This is the project one. Each of them this one has a project manager from the mechanical engineer from different departments. Same thing with the project two. And for matrix, compared to a matrix, you can see almost the same thing. Matrix gets professionals from different departments. So this is for this project one. I see where the professionals and team members came from. For this second project, you can see the same thing, where they come from different departments. Okay. A good example, Boeing. Boeing have been having problems this recently because of what they trying to cut costs. And sometimes when you want to cut costs, you will unknowingly compromise on quality. And that is what is happening to Boeing. Otherwise, prior to that, Boeing was almost like the gold standard when it comes to aviation and aircraft manufacture and service. Anyway, so now we now to cap the section on project organization. I will say here that we need a project organization when we need it most when work has a specific goal and deadline, like a regular project, where there's a clear goal, like launching a new product or building a new stadium or something, anything that is being launched the first time. We need to have a project organization set up. When the job is unique as well, we need a project organization. So when a company is doing something that they have not done before, like if Amazon, if Walmart want to enter a new market in South America, that they will need to set up a project organization whereby they have a project manager leading teams, people selected from different departments for the company. Then when they start involve is very complex. For example, developing a new software. In that case, you need a project organization. Now, temporary but critical projects. We are doing temporary but very critical projects. Then you need a project organization. For example, launching a new product line or expanding into a new region. We're gonna need it. Now, another scenario where you will need a project organization is when the project require people from different parts of the organization to work together, like in IT, working together with the marketing department. Okay. In that case, you're gonna need a project organization. Jupyter. Jupyter. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, so what are the role of the project manager? He's a manager, so the role, should be very clear. One is that he or she is responsible for all the necessary activities to make sure that all the activities are finished in order and on time. Also, to make sure that the project comes within the budget. They don't exceed the budget. That one is a difficult thing to do because, like I said, as you start the project, you might see some emerging things new things that are emerging that you might have to make some adjustments to. Then, to make sure the project manager is there to make sure that the project meets the quality goals. Also, that to make sure that people assigned to the project receive the necessary motivation, direction, and information. Like in the other part of business or task, but in the corporate world, there's always issues that are related to ethics. The same thing with project management, where ethical issues can arise. Now, we have the Project Management Institute that have established an ethical code to deal with different problems that are related to the project. Things like when the project manager, sometimes when a project, somebody gets a big project, you might have to hire some subcontractors to do a certain part of the project. Now, some of them might want to get a job by any means. They might even offer you some money to give them the job of taking care of one part of the project, even though they may not be the most qualified company to do it. Normally, what you do is to allow them to bid. They submit each of them to submit their bid, what they want to do and the bid, how much they're gonna use to do it. But sometimes, some subcontractors would like to offer more into the project manager to just look the other way and put them in. So that is unethical. Another one is the pressure to change status report to mark delays. So that project manager, especially if the project is getting so much behind the schedule, they might be tempted to change the status report so that they can hide the delays. Now, another one is false report for charges of time and expenses. And all these things are unethical. Or the pressure to compromise quality in order to meet the schedule, the deadline. This thing can come up. There are ways that project managers can handle that. So the Project Management Institute have established a code you have to follow. I recommend that you look up those codes online, and then you can see what the requirement for different projects. Which brings us to the next concept called work breakdown structure. So as the name implies, the work breakdown structure is a way to break down a large project into smaller projects that are more manageable. In fact, at the point, if you break them into different smaller projects, it becomes easy for you to, if you cannot oversee all of them, you might hire a subcontractor to take care of one part of the breaking down structure. Yeah. Okay. So that is what we call, that's what we mean when we say work breakdown structure. It is divided into different levels. One is the project itself, which is the entire project that needs to be completed. It's still at the top level of the work breakdown structure. Then next is the major task that can be accomplished on the project. So we have big phases and sections on the project that need to be completed. So breaking them down will help us to, or help the project manager to define what needs to be done at every level. Then, of course, you have the subtasks, which are the smaller tasks within each subsection. And then next is the activities or the work packages, which refers to the specific task that must be completed to finish the project. But the bottom line is that the work break structure has the goal. I mean, the goal of having it is to make sure that the project is easier to manage and to assign tasks to the right people, and then to track the progress of the project more effectively. You can see a simple sample example of work breakdown structure. You can see the main project here is to develop Windows 10 operating system. That main project. Then at different level, they break the tasks into different categories and at different levels. So they can assign different individuals or different subcontractors to handle some of them. Yeah. Okay. Now, in a Ford Motor Company, which developed the first I forgot what they call it, whereby each making a car is divided into different tasks that be done by one person or different individuals. So Ford created a new car model, and with that model, it made Ford to produce cars faster than other companies. Yeah. So they break down the task into the task of making cars into different categories like design, engineering, manufacturing. Now, within the major task, there are also subtasks. One person some individual might be responsible for strengthening the metals. So might be responsible for the putting the knots and so on and so forth. So activities like building the prototype or conducting the crash test are completed by different, to make sure that the project runs smoothly on schedule. But they have each activity under design, engineering, and manufacturing. Then under design, you have subtasks done by different individuals. So almost every 1 hour, a new car is rolling out of the factory. Yeah. So which brings us to the next concept called the project scheduling techniques. Now, project scheduling is a term that means the method that we use or the project manager use to plan and manage tasks and deadline in the project. So, in other words, the project scheduling techniques show the order in which tasks must be completed. Tasks must be done, the time it will take to do it, and when they need to be finished. Okay. So in other words, the goal of the project manager who is using this, doing the scheduling, is to make sure that everything stays on track, everything stays on deadline. I mean, the deadlines are met, and then the resources that are made available for the project are used effectively. Good example is Tesla. Tesla use this the project scheduling to plan when each step, such as laying the foundation or installing the equipment, should happen. So they use it a lot. And then Apple also uses the schedule. Every project, especially when it comes to manufacturing, have to be scheduled. They have to have their scheduling techniques, okay, to make sure that things are done, at the right time, and the deadlines are met, and the resources are not wasted. Which brings us to the things that we use to do the scheduling. We have the Gantt chart, the critical path method, and the program evaluation and review method. So the Gantt chart actually is like a visual tool that displays each task, what needs to be done, and when they should be completed. So project managers use it to see which tasks are happening, how they will take, how long they will take, and when they should be completed. Look at this. I have a chart here. See, that's a good example of a Gantt chart. This is the time. The time here is the month: January, February, March, April, May, all the way to September. And the first task is design. So the project manager expected that this will start from, the design of the project that will be done, maybe the plan of it. From here, January to June, you expect that to be completed. Then the prototype, of course, the prototype simply means an early model or a preliminary version of the new product that is being manufactured by under the project. So okay, they have to make the prototype from between March to April. Then they test the prototype. They expect to be done at April to June. Of course, then when they test the prototype, they will say, okay, we need to make some adjustments. Like I said, most projects you have to adjust, keep on adjusting until you get the perfect product. So revise it from April to June again. Then the production of the product now, so you expect it to be produced by June to September. It should be out. So that's a good example of that. Let me play this clip. That will help you to understand what a Gantt chart actually is. It's a short clip. I'm sure you're gonna like
I was laughing, Professor. I thought you cut the lights off to show us the clip, but it was just us sitting still here.
Is it here?
You want a degree in cyber or IT?
But how about now? Can you see it? Is here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
25. Check out UMGC.
Thanks, dude.
Cost tuition 100.
Yep.
What is a Gantt chart? I get asked this all the time, and by the end of this video, you're going to learn exactly what is a Gantt chart, the purpose of a Gantt chart, and how does a Gantt chart look like. And if you want to become a project ninja, stay tuned to the end of this video because I have a really special checklist just for you that's going to help you be successful on projects. I promise. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to the best project management and career advice coming to you every Wednesday. Now, if you're excited about learning about Gantt charts, please like this video. Let's get to it. What is a Gantt chart? A Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates the project schedule. It can also show dependencies amongst activities and can actually show you the current schedule of those particular activities. What it is not, it's not the project plan. And that's a big mistake a lot of people make. It's really all there to show you about milestones and timing of your activities. Is a Gantt chart right for your project? Well, in order to answer that question, first let's have an understanding of the benefits and disadvantages of a Gantt chart so you can decide if this is going to be a good tool for you. So what are some of the benefits of a Gantt chart? Well, it's an amazing tool to see at a glance all of your high-level milestones and major activities within your project from start to finish. So wonderful tool for that. Great planning tool. A second thing that it also is, it can show you dependencies of tasks. And in the planning stage, this becomes really important because it's going to help you have an understanding of resource loading and some other things, and perhaps where there may be some overlap of activities that you may have to put some risk mitigation plan into. And last but not least, it's a great way to understand the sequencing of events because you can have things organized in a way where you can kind of see how each one is feeding into each other. So that is definitely some core benefits of a Gantt chart. So what are some disadvantages of a Gantt chart? Well, first and foremost, it can be really, really overwhelming to project team members who are not used to working with Gantt charts. There are a lot of individuals out there who are project team members who just don't work in a Gantt chart daily, and it can be extremely overwhelming, particularly when you have the one that's at a glance and is kind of showing everything. So that can be a real big roadblock and really create some issues for your team because they start to feel overwhelmed. A second aspect of Gantt charts, which is really important and ties into why it's not the project plan, is that there really isn't anywhere to communicate, provide comments, and really manage your tasks on an individual level. It really is an overview at a glance. So that's a real big disadvantage and why you don't want to have it your main document. It's a supporting document, which is really important to understand. So with that in mind, and those two big disadvantages, you can still have a Gantt chart as a project manager to have that overview, and you may need it in order to share it with your sponsors. But you may want to consider for the rest of your team, depending on how big your project is, that you can do a project calendar instead, more of a calendar format. Particularly if you have a smaller project with more compressed timelines, that may be something that is maybe a little bit easier to manage, particularly if you have a team that feels a little overwhelmed on a Gantt chart. Gantt chart examples. Now, the cool thing with Gantt charts is there's many ways to create a Gantt chart. And so I'm going to share with you all the different ways you can do it. So the first one is Word. You can actually create a Gantt chart in Word. I do this for very simple, small projects when I just want to have an understanding of the overarching timeline that kind of at a glance. That's a really easy way to do it. And it's something that is very simple and a lot of people can understand. And again, because it's in Word, you're not putting in a lot of stuff in there. The second aspect is Excel. This is probably a little more common for a lot of people because it does act very traditionally to some other Gantt charts that are out there. And again, if you're working with Excel with a project plan, those two really merge well together. So you may want to consider using that. Another one is Visio. So Visio really acts very similar in look and feel to, let's say, Microsoft Project, which we'll talk about in a moment. So Visio, it's going to show you dependencies. You can put in your start and end dates, all that great fun stuff that has some advantages to then, let's say, a Word document or Excel document that do not have those types of links. And last but not least, one of the creme de la creme when it comes to Gantt charts is Microsoft Project. That's really what Microsoft Project is. It's a Gantt chart. It's a huge Gantt chart, but it is programmed. So you have dependencies and you can really easily move things around because it's a program, it's a software program, and it's going to do it for you. And you can import dates from other Excel sheets, etc. So you just have to decide which one is for you. And I really do it based on the simplicity or complexity of a project as to which one I'm going to use. One thing just to take note of, if you're going to do a Gantt chart and you're going to use Microsoft Project, just make sure everyone has access to it because you're going to have to get licensing for everyone on this. So that's just a little side note for you. And those are examples of some Gantt charts. Now that you know everything about Gantt.
Yeah, so again, you can watch it over and over, have it on the PowerPoint as well. Let us round up. Remember, next week we'll still be on this presentation. We continue from this presentation next week. So I've shown you the Gantt charts. An example now. The other one is the critical path method. Now, in this case, the project managers use the CPM as the critical path method to identify the longest sequence of tasks that must be completed for a project to finish on time. Every project, there is always one part of it that takes a long time. And if you complete that part, that's when you know that you'll be able to finish that project on schedule. That is the what we use critical path method to find out. Use it to, yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, Professor. What was, did she say? Microsoft, what was the program? Microsoft.
No, what I'm saying is, what I said was in any project, right?
Yeah.
There's always a part of the project that.
You said it like 3 or 4 times, and I couldn't remember by the time it was over. She said Microsoft, whatever. I mean, Word, but then there was the other program. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, are you talking about the individual?
Yes.
Oh, you want to see what she said about my?
I think she was talking about a
Word
Gantt chart.
Yeah, Gantt charts, right?
She said it 3 times at the end. It was a Microsoft application. She said, make sure your team has access.
Let me hold on. It's still here.
I'm sorry, it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, it's here.
Man, she loves charts.
One thing just to take note of, if you're going to do a Gantt chart and you're going to use Microsoft Project, just make sure everyone has access to it because you're going to have to get licensing.
Microsoft Project.
So that's just a side note for you.
Okay.
I've never looked at it before. And she has 241,000 subscribers, and she talks about charts. This is impressive.
Yeah, she's a project manager, so that's so she has the experience. So naturally, she'll have subscribers. So now that I have seen it, let me go back to the presentation. So now any project, there's always a part of a section that when you complete it, then you know that you are going to finish the project on schedule. So the critical path method helps you to identify that part of the project that need to be that involve a long sequence of tasks that when you complete it, then you are good. The rest will just be minor things to do. So we use it to critical path method. I will show you how to use this when we do probably next week when we start doing the other part of this presentation. Now, but there's a company that used to call DuPont. They use this critical path method to schedule maintenance for their chemical plants. Most companies now, most modern day companies use it. Yeah, in their operations department, they figure out what part of any project they are doing that we call the critical, that follows the critical path, whereby once they complete this, they're sure that the project will be finished on time. So you have the project manager to focus on those tasks that if they delay it, it will push by the project, push by the deadline, and that most project managers want to meet up with the deadline because it is their reputation is at stake there. Yeah. So next is the evaluation of the project. We use what they call the PAT method. PAT simply means program evaluation and review technique. So in this method, we use a statistical method to estimate the project deadline, especially when there is an uncertainty about how each task or some major task, how long they will take. We use this PAT method. Again, we're gonna take a look at it probably next week on this. Now, tonight we're gonna stop here tonight. I will say read up the rest of this. I showed you where they are located. You can see it on the course. If you go to the course share, give me 1 minute. Let me open it from here. This is course share. So I'm gonna share it. So it's right here on week 3. And for the classwork, you know your groups already. Remember last time I said share a contract because you're going to be working on that group forever until the class ends. So this is the classwork here. So I'm going to make it available now. You download it, work with your group. See, it's right here. So the names I see in the submissions are the names in your group, and those are the names that will receive credit. So make sure you write your names here. Then when you and your group work on it, you can upload it when you finish by tomorrow. Yeah. And of course, you guys know why. Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, in terms of the submission, one person is only one person that is allowed to submit it, right? Then the rest of the student will receive the grade, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so one person, your group will choose one person as your leader who will submit it, or who, whether it's in a leader, it might not be a leader, group leader, but somebody that can submit it. You trust that when you finish this, that the person will submit it for real. Yeah. So, and then you if you choose that person, don't forget to ask him or her, reminder, did you submit this? So that because you have the whole group, if they don't get it, that means the whole group is failing the assignment. So, keep reminding the person so that they will submit it.
Okay.
Yep. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. One of the reasons I decided to have this today class remotely, I wanted to come to the campus, but I was seeing the weather forecast, about the wintry mix. Usually, with all the wintry mix, everywhere is slippery. So I don't want the student to go through that. I don't want to go through that either. So I decided let's have it tonight. But next week, hopefully the weather will be good and we'll be in the campus. Okay. Now before we leave, I want to make sure I have everybody who came here. The names here. I have some of the names here. Everybody's still here, right? Let me call the names. In fact, you know what? I have. If you don't hear your name, you are free to leave. Adams, I didn't see Adams here. Adams, are you here? Okay. So if you don't hear your name, then I don't have Edwards, Arrington Edwards. I don't see Messi Equanum here. I don't see Tiffany here. Tashia.
I'm here.
Tiffany, are you here?
Yeah,
I'm here.
You said Tavon?
No, I didn't say that. I said Tiffany here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tiffany
okay.
Hill is here. I've been here the
Yeah,
whole
I checked you. So if you don't hear your name, just you are free to name. I have Tashia McKnight. I didn't see her.
I'm here.
You here? Oh. Okay. Javon Nigren. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Javon Nigren, not here. Okay. Odusanya.
I'm here.
You here? Okay.
Yeah.
Courtney Okozu. I didn't see her. Brian Stecker. Brian. I didn't see him.
Yes, sir.
Wait, Brian?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Oh, I can't
Late for my last time.
Can you see your name on the
Last time
screen?
late.
Sorry about that. Your name is shown on the Maya Top. Maya. Not here. Thomas Winston. I didn't see. Okay, then the rest, if you don't hear your name, you're free to do.
I didn't hear my name.
You didn't hear your name?
I didn't hear my name.
You don't hear your name. That means if I didn't call your name, that means I've checked you here.
Oh.
Okay, that's
That's
Mr.
all
Jupiter.
right.
I just want to
Tavon
make
is
sure.
here.
So,
Did you say
Professor,
my name?
yeah, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last week I was in class. You marked me absent.
I did?
Yes.
So let me see if you signed. Jupiter, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't see a signature. Oh, I see. I didn't see a signature. Look. Last
I had
week.
the same, I had the same issue too last week.
I forgot to sign.
Yeah, you forgot to sign.
Yeah, but I was in class though. I was in class.
Anybody? Oh, did you participate in the classwork?
Yeah, I participated.
I remember he was there.
She's my witness.
He's in your group, Mr. Brian. Say he's in your group. Okay.
Yeah, Webster. Ask Webster. It's Webster, yeah.
Okay, let me check you there.
I'm here.
I was in class.
Whoever's in my
last week,
group,
right?
you have to make the doc and share it.
So, Mr. Jupiter, I'll fix it after the class is over. Okay.
All right, sir.
Yo, you should have made breakout rooms or something, because it's gonna be complicated for everybody to really do our classwork. But all right, that's whatever.
You were not. Are you in the class when I assigned the group?
Yeah, I was in the class. I'm saying that, forget it, bro. You're not gonna understand. That's whatever.
Well,
we should have did breakout groups or something, because you don't know, I don't know who's gonna start the doc. It's gonna be but I'll figure it out. It's okay. I don't matter.
I'm trying to understand you though, but you have your group. You just work with your group. When you finish your group, submit.
All right, bro.
Anyways, guys,
Excuse me, Professor, did you get me? Mbasa Buchung.
What's your last name?
Buhlungu.
How about the first name?
Mbasa, Mbasa.
I'm looking for it here. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, remember I say if I don't have your name, if I don't call your name, that means I marked you already.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Yeah.
Washington. Hey, Professor, when are we starting?
Excuse me, Professor. I was trying to access
group work.
Oh, hold on, one person at a time. The first person continue.
I apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When are we starting this group work stuff?
Right.
Is it
right now? You and your group. It's up to you and your group to decide when to start. But I want it to be submitted tomorrow.
Wow.
You don't know your group?
No. Is it the same group that we was in? But I don't remember the names.
Yeah. Remember I said that's nice.
Okay. It was in the homework.
Classwork.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So when I said that night, they're gonna be with this group until the end of this semester. So just share contact and however you wanna do it.
Yes, I understand.
Now the second person want to ask a question. Go ahead.
Thank you, Professor. I was wondering, I still don't have access to the textbook. With the assignment on Sunday, that was due this past Sunday, will it be counted against me until?
No. Actually, I moved that assignment to 16th.
Okay.
Of February, right? Hold on, let me make sure. Because because I said that if you don't have access to it by next week, as a matter of fact, if you don't have access to it by next week, then I will say forget about the course my lab and master, and I will create the homework myself.
Okay.
So now like this one, you're referring to homework 1. Yeah, you're right. It was due last week, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna actually I didn't make it available. I didn't publish it.
When homework 1 was like out, I wasn't enrolled in the class yet. So how do
we haven't nobody have done it because they don't have the access to the book.
All right, bet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna create a new one after next week. If nobody still have access, I will say forget about the online. My lab and mastering. I will create the homework myself and put it in with a new due date. Miss Leila, what can I do for you? Leila, you're raising your hand, right?
Yes.
What can I do for you?
I just wanted to make sure that like the last class session and this current one that I was marked present.
Yeah, you're marked present. You're here.
Okay. And the last class session?
Last class session. You are still you signed. So you're marked present.
And yeah, I had the same question also with like the homework.
Yeah, so you had my answer though, right?
I'm sorry?
You had the answer I gave to him?
No, I wasn't hearing.
Well, the homework, if you don't have access, if not only you, everybody don't have access to that book yet. So if nobody have access to it next week, then yes, I will say forget about my lab and mastering.
I think my question like is like the code that, because I remember us like communicating through email, if like we had a different code or like how we could access it, because I'm sure we could be assigned future homeworks on it.
Well, my answer to you is that if nobody still have access next week, I will create my homework, the homework myself and put it here.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Right.
that's fine.
All right, guys. Have a nice night.
Did you come on in?
Huh?
Washington. Did you come on in?
Yeah, your name is there.
Professor, I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said that you never received my email for homework 1, but I've sent it in Gmail and I sent it on Canvas, and you said I was supposed to show it to you tonight.
Yeah. See, I can't see it from here. Don't worry. We see on the class next week. You just show it to me. I'll update.
Show it next week. Okay.
Yeah, I'll update it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mhm.